One of the most important sources of finding what the audience want, if you're a content creator, is to go ahead and do your research. You can research on YouTube keywords, you can research for YouTube on keywords, you can research on Google. You have a lot of other tools which are research enabled and can give you some of the best ideas if you really want to go ahead and shine as a content creator. Have you ever thought that we may have something right under our sleeve, but we spend most of the time looking elsewhere in the world? Sometimes this analysis and research process can be a pain because you really cannot figure out what the audience is looking at. You know, what do you want to talk about? You don't know what to be quite specific about, and then this creates a whole lot of confusion most of the times. What if I tell you that it is right under your nose? All you need to do is just pay attention and you will know exactly what to make content about. What am I talking about? I'm talking about YouTube comments. There is no resource better than YouTube comments because the audience themselves are telling you what they need to watch, they would want to watch when it comes to the content piece of your choice. Now, how do you get to know about these comments? There are tons of comments. Some of the videos have like thousands of comments. Now, one best thing that you could do is you could, if you have the liberty of time, you can go ahead and start scrolling through these searches, but trust me, it gets annoying. So, what you need to do is, how about having an Excel sheet where you could export these comments and then start looking at browsing through the comments, look for specific searches? Because comments, ladies and gentlemen, is an open secret. Everybody can browse through the comments of any video on the internet. There are certain tools today that we are going to talk about where you can figure out what comments actually make sense to you, and you can take content ideas and suggestions from the audience themselves, right? They are the jury when it comes to making or breaking your piece of content go viral, right? So this is exactly what we'll do now. So these are the set of videos that where I put in best places to travel in Egypt, and this sounds very appealing because is it safe to travel to Egypt? And if your content piece or if your niche revolves around travel and safety of travelers, especially women's travel, etc., so you could look at something like this. Don't worry, I'm not going to show you the entire video. We don't even have to skip the ad. Okay, so this is a channel where this is the description and these are the comments. We have 25 comments. And I chose this video because it is easy to deal with 25 comments than scroll through hundreds of pieces of content for demonstration purposes. So one, let's assume that these are not 25, these are 250 comments. There's nothing wrong in assuming. Let's just assume that there are 250 comments, and it takes a long time for you to scroll through these things and taking the pain of what the audience actually want. So what you need to do is copy this video URL, go to a tool called export comments, and just put in your URL, right? And the best part is this is not just YouTube, it exports your comments from all your social media posts, right? Now, if this is a YouTube video, you can include your nested comments if you want. Nested comments are comments like these, where you have replies and multiple threads of replies. If you would want to export those, you could do that as well. And so I don't think you could do that here because it's a pro account. Okay, this feature is currently available to upgraded paid users. Live chat conversations, if it is a live stream that you're talking about, you could enable that as well. Now we're dealing with none of those things, so we can straight away go ahead and start the export process. It'll ask you to register maybe. Okay. Okay, your file is almost done, and then it'll give you a list of comments that you can go ahead and export. Okay, download the Excel file. I'm just going to save it as a CSV. All right, export completed. Your file is ready for download. Download the CSV. I think we're already done with that. So let's go ahead and look at the CSV file. There you go. So this is the CSV file that we're talking about. And there are the 25 comments that we should be able to see. Let's see if there are 25. These are 14 and these are the comments. Koshari is so good. I've had it in the Egyptian restaurant. Okay, thank you for this. These tips are really, I'm going to Egypt with you for 22 days. Egypt's a beautiful country, place, but unfortunately, they torture and abuse animals. We all know how cruelty is. So if these kind of comments resonate with you, you could go ahead and make a video of that, right? About animal cruelty. If you think it is, it's your personal opinion. Now look at this. This is a gold mine of information. Hi, what guided tour company would you recommend? There are so many online and it's hard to know which one should I go by. Now, there are only 14 comments while there are 25 that you saw, maybe because these are all nested comments. Now, let's actually count because it's a small number. So let's ignore the nested comments. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13, right? So we got the comments, the main comments. However, we did not get the nested comments, which should not be a problem for us because that's not what we're bothered about. Now, do you see how it says what guided tour company would you recommend? There are so many online and it's hard to know, blah, blah. Now, this is something you could go after and make a content piece on this because you know people are looking for this. Now, this is a small video with about 25 comments, right? Now, that's not a big deal. So, what we would look at now is let's go all in and find out a bigger video, right? Which has a lot of views and then something that you can go ahead and pick up uh, a lot of comment insights from, right? Okay, now let's pause this. Now, there are 4,338 comments, right? So, let's copy this and see what happens when I try to export all these. Okay. That's not the one. We go here, we will export another. You're currently limited to 100 comments per export. Now, this is because it's not a pro account that you're signed up with. So let's try what happens if I do this, right? I'm not including nested comments. All right, so we're going to do that. There are 4,000 comments, but I think you should only be bothered about the first 100 because it's not a pro account, so you're not going to be getting all the comments. So start the export process. Okay, so if your file is almost done, I'm pretty sure it's going to extract all the 100 comments. Okay, so job successfully exported, open. This should show us the exported file. Now, if you want to export all the 4,000 comments, you can just pay $1, oh, sorry, $11 and get it. We're not looking at that now. This is just a demonstration purpose. Let's see if we got the file. No, we haven't got the file yet. Okay, it's saved and we have the file with about the names of the people, the date and time, likes, okay? And you could do a lot of interesting things with these, right? Now let's look at these are all the comments. Even if you're looking at an Excel sheet, unless you know what you're looking for, this could get quite hectic. So what you could possibly do is you can go ahead and look at, I mean, there are 100 comments as promised. Now this is about a video that it says what happens to an Israeli when he visits Egypt, right? I really liked how you maintained a fake smile throughout. You did not show any respect for Egypt's victory, blah, blah. These are all controversial, guys. I'm not looking at these. Okay, let's do something. Let's just copy these comments because it's quite painful for us to go ahead and look at all these 100. So I'm just going to copy these comments. And this is when I am going to resort to ChatGPT because I think it's only a savior when you have like so much of data. So I'm just going to copy these. Okay, go to the browser. Let's go to OpenAI ChatGPT. Okay, there are two things that you could do. One is you could either copy paste the comments like I did and then just paste them at random and see what ChatGPT throws at you. Now let's say new chat. I'm going to use the default model, which is the GPT-4. I'm just going to say this is the list of comments on a video that I watched. I want you to browse through these comments and give me video suggestions or topic ideas of things that are frequently spoken about in the comments. Then you're going to obviously you can give instructions like no violence. Okay, no violent comments to be considered, nothing illegal to be considered, or you can just say ignore anything that is violent, illegal, blah blah. And then you can say the goal is to make pieces of content that people really are seeking out. Okay, and you can make a list of all such ideas in a table and Include more suggestions if you think they are appropriate. Okay, just to differentiate, if the suggestions are based on the comments, include from YouTube comments, else just say my suggestion. My suggestion, right? Process. Was too long. Please reroute the conversation. Submit something shorter. That's weird. Okay, maybe it's because of 100, it's 100 lines. So in this case, what I'm trying to do, I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy my entire prompt. I'm just going to go to code interpreter. Okay, so let's go to a new chat. Let's go to code interpreter. Let's upload the CSV. What's that? Okay, now I don't know what's the CSV here. It's 34 KB. Okay, this has to be the one. I'm going to say include this. Look into this CSV. Look at the comments, and I'm just going to paste this. My suggestion. Okay, all right. Let's start by loading the CSV file and taking a look at the first few comments to get a sense of the content. It's working, it's working. So we just have to wait. I noticed that some of the comments are related to sensitive political topics which may be seen as politically violent or controversial. I'll make sure to avoid these comments while generating the content ideas. Let's go ahead and analyze the comments to identify frequent topics and generate content suggestions based on them. To achieve this, I'll pre-process the comments. I'll tokenize the comments into individual words. I'll identify frequently mentioned terms and phrases. Based on the frequent terms and phrases, I will suggest potential video topics or content ideas. That's not bad. Okay, let's see what this is doing. Okay, based upon the most common words in the comments, here are some potential content ideas: a video or article about Egyptian culture or history, a travel guide for Palestine focusing on cultural and historical landmarks, a piece on international relations and diplomacy focusing on countries in the Middle East, an exploration of common misconceptions about countries in the Middle East. Now, I'll also look for common two-word phrases in the comments which might give some more specific content suggestions. Based on the most common two-word phrases, here are additional content ideas: the documentary or feature of historical landmarks at the sites of Palestine. Okay, now it all okay. This is brilliant. It's walking you through step by step. First, it looked at all the suggestions which it thought was valid in terms of what I asked it for, based upon take it from the content suggestions of the comments, and then it looked at its own intelligence to come up with additional suggestions. And now it's combining both and giving me a list of suggestions if you want to look at it. Okay, and this is the beauty, right? So it is telling me which of these have been picked up from the YouTube comments and which of them are its own suggestions. Okay, videos or article about Egyptian culture and history is from the YouTube comments. Now you could go to a lot of places from here. You could make it very, very interesting from here. Let me show you how. Okay, you can just say in the above table, please suggest how many times a particular comment has been repeated or mentioned. Only look at the ideas in the table above, right? So this is the first modification that I want. I mean, this is the first uh, piece of filtering that I wanted to do. Now I just wanted to see what is the repetition. I mean, is it two times? Did people ask it twice? Did people ask it three times? Did people like 70 people asked about it? I don't know, right? So I can ask the system. I mean, from the comments that you have picked up, tell me how many times something is being mentioned, right? Okay, video or article. Wow, video or article about Egyptian culture or history has been spoken about 5 times. Travel guide for Palestine, focusing on its culture and historical landmarks, has been spoken about 16 times. Peace on international relations and diplomacy, focusing on countries in the Middle East, has been spoken about 29 times. Now, this is insane, guys. This is how you need to be looking at when. I mean, see, I just started with a random video idea. Sorry, I just started with a broad topic with no specific intention as to what to write. Now this is going places, right? I mean, it's giving me more suggestions. Now another thing that you could do is you could break this down into typical suggestions. You can go ahead and start looking at breaking this down into multiple pieces. You can do a lot of stuff, right? Now, just to measure the accuracy of, I mean, there's nothing accurate, right? Now, just to see if there is anything else, the other tools that you have to offer. This is not the only tool, by the way. This was export comments, right? .com. And then let's look at something called as YouTube Comments Downloader, a perfect tool for YouTubers to create Q&A videos or comments based on content, save time and energy, get all the comments with a single mouse click. So just for demonstration purposes, let's look at the old video itself because I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that. So let's copy paste this just to see if this tool is the other tools are any different from the one that we have seen. Okay, try the beta version. This is youtubecommensdownloader.com. Okay, just copy this. Okay, and you need to remember that export comments is not just for YouTube, it is also for Facebook and other areas. Okay, so download comments. This is boring. Making a big fuss out of it. Never. Okay. And what is the other options? It could be a live stream, community post, shots. Brilliant, guys. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Now here, when you looked at it, it said, I mean, if you want to look at export another, now this could be Facebook URL, YouTube URL. You could have multiple URLs. Guys, this is amazing, right? So now do you see how each of them have specific features? Now this can have multiple things to do at once, right? I mean, you can have multiple URLs. You can add one YouTube, one Facebook, one short. I mean, you could get everything. This is exciting, right? And this, on the other hand, gives you a clear-cut thing as to is it a live stream, video, community post, and shots. Now let's look at the comments. Is there anything else that it is going to offer? I'm not sure. Okay, 14 comments because there are no nested replies that we are looking at. 0 replies available. Okay, this is unfortunately an HTML file only because you are not registered. I mean, you could also download it into a CSV, right? And you can download it, and from there you can do exactly what we did with ChatGPT, right? And then we have something called as okay. Then you have another tool which is Sudota. It looks like an extension. You can download comments, stop, copy, and paste comments to spreadsheet. Okay. Looks like they don't offer anything major apart from that. Just to, okay, hidden comments is also available. Audience identity data, which is IDs and name, reactions, mapping. Okay, that sounds interesting. Okay. Then you have YouTube comment extractor and YouTube comment finder. Let's try this one first. Go to the link, copy the link, come back here, paste the link, search. In the meantime, let's log in, continue. This is botster.io, which is also another tool. Okay, so what do we want? We want a YouTube comment downloader, right? How do we search for it? Comment downloader for YouTube. YouTube comment extractor. Okay, so we're going to start with this tool. Okay, give me your job a meaningful. Okay, let's call it Egypt video. Choose a project folder optional. Up to 100 comments. That's okay because it's just a. Okay, here is the news. The usage of this bot is limited for free accounts. The result will be limited by 19 rows. It's okay. We have only 14 comments in this. So let's copy this and let's see what happens. Okay, now this is the most interesting feature. You can run this bot periodically and then you can find a way to integrate this. Okay, now this is just me thinking, but if you have certain channels that you would want to go ahead and run this bot periodically, or if you want to track a particular video just to see if there is any more comments being added to it, especially if the video is added today and if it's a big creator and this if this keeps garnering videos over time, you could just copy paste it here, the URL, and then you can say track this periodically, and then you can start this bot, and you could integrate this tool with an Excel sheet, or chat gpt, and you can automatically do a lot of stuff. This is interesting, right? Okay, Egypt video, this is running for 8 seconds, 9 seconds. YouTube, okay, less than a minute ago. Let's see what else is going to bring. Latest run, okay, view data. Now let's see what data this is promising. YouTube URL, nickname, which is the name of the guy who is doing this. Then you have the date. This is the text, email from the content, upvotes, replies, etc. Did we get it here when we used export comments? We did not get that, right? So we did not get all the other. Oh, we did get the likes, is hearted, no. So basically most of these tools is giving you the reactions, the emotions that we're talking about, the emoticons, and it's giving you the name, it's giving you the comment, it's if it's hearted comment, blah blah. And then you can of course you can search for a lot of stuff. Now pretty much they have the similar functionality, but some of them are promising you visualization of data, which is something that I'm really excited about. Okay, that's about it. Now you can go ahead and look at these things, and you can frame pieces of content from the comments of others' videos, and then come and then let ChatGPT work its magic, and you can customize to your heart's content. That's about it from me in this video. Just to summarize these videos, here is what I would want to do. Export comments is one video where you could go ahead and look at multiple channels, multiple streams, and you can export all those comments, and you can also do a combination of these things and do an Excel sheet or a CSV, and then you can analyze those things. And you have YouTube comments downloader, which you can also use for the same purpose. And then you have Sudota, which is also an extension, which tells you that it can select posts, and it promises you a lot of interesting data elements. I think I'm going to make one entire video on this extension. And then you have something called as Botster, where you can search for YouTube comment extractor or scraper, right? And then you could run a extractor, and then you could run like a bot to extract a lot of pieces of information and get the data. You could also do it periodically if you want. Then you have YCF, which is YouTube Comments Finder. Now, then you can pretty much do the same thing. You can search the comments for interesting things here. Let's say Palestine, no results. Okay, this is weird, right? Now you could also look at this and then see what you. Okay. You can copy this. Let's see how this works. Search. Okay, this is weird. Maybe this is not fully functional. Okay, this is only comment finder. Got it. If you want to find something from this list of comments, okay, let's say we'll figure out something. Okay, tour agent. If this is something that I would want to find, or if this is my keyword that I would want to look for in a specific thing, I can say, okay, search. That's weird. Search. Okay. Do you see how it pulls specific comments with a keyword that you would want to look at, and then it lists it here? Interesting. So basically, do you see how although all these tools are pretty much similar, but then they offer slightly different functionalities? So I would strongly recommend to go ahead and use all of these tools. And most interesting part of this video, or most interesting takeaway from this video, is how you can not only export comments, and then how you can use ChatGPT to go ahead and do a lot of interesting things when it comes to customizing your videos. And I think how you can do a lot of interesting things using ChatGPT and other AI tools. So it's what started off with just exporting a few comments from a video ended up being your source of content for the next few videos, or a series of videos that you can make based on what people want. Thank you so much. I hope you like this session. See you again in the next video. Until next time,